Hello, welcome back to Benasushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do something that's really simple. I'm just gonna introduce you to new nodes. We have now the subdivide nodes and also the smooth node, which is really cool. I really like the smooth node. So yeah, I'll just give you a demo. So it's like if you start with a box, and if you extrude it, for example, extrude separate faces, it's gonna extrude it in all directions. I'll show you with a viewer draw. So by default, it's gonna extrude in all directions like this. So you can make quite an interesting model this way. If you want to use the masking, there's many ways to do the masking, but the easiest, of course, if you have very little face like this, only 6 face, you can just use the 0 and 1 value plug into the mask, and then you kind of, decide which of the directions you want it, just by turning on and off here. So that's kind of helping with the extrusion. I'll save this real quick. So this is extrude, subdiv, and smooth. And the next thing we want to try is the subdivide actually. This subdivide is actually, it's not like Blender modifier. Subdivide is more like subdivide inside the edit mode. So keep that in mind. And in order for this to work, you need to plug in all the vertices, edges, and polygon. It doesn't work with just vertices and faces. So that seems to work pretty well. And then the next thing is the smooth vertices. There are actually more options here that you can take a look. But for this demo, we're just gonna do something super simple. So yeah, you see, you can quickly generate this kind of design now. So I think that's pretty neat. So instead of this, we also can kind of use a vMesh viewer. So we have like a real object. There. So that's a real object. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Sometimes after the extrude separate, you actually want to have remove double. Depends on what you're doing. This will clean up a little bit some of extra vertices. Yeah, so it's very basic, but I think it's very powerful as well. And of course, this works for anything, not just box. If you like use other objects like the new icosphere node, you can get some interesting result as well. See, very easily, and you can generate a couple of these quite easily as well. Just use plane and generate like 4x4 and plug this into the matrix, and you get this. And you can randomize each one of them if you like. Just randomize the rotations or whatever you like to do. So yeah, that's a pretty simple look at the subdivide and smooth vertices. There are other options here with smooth vertices. Laplacian will try to keep the shape as close as possible to the original, I think. So there's a clip option as well. But this is more like you give it a try and see what happens. Subdivision cut. So I think that's very powerful. This subdiv can actually work per edge if you put a like edge masking here, and this guy also have a vertices masking. So very powerful. Sometimes with the masking you still have to think a little bit, but I think it's this this setup is already pretty powerful, and I recommend you to give it a try and see if you can make a spinner like this in SquareShot. This is like a challenge. It's supposed to be really simple. I think there's a, if you're very clever, you can simplify the setup and get this spinner very easily. So yeah, give it a try. Thanks again for tuning in. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section. Thanks again. See you in the next